Under spotlight beams, the clock it mocks. Jaguars on the draft, all eyes on the dock. Piano keys clash like a ticking tock. Rumors spread fast, no time for talk. Fans in a frenzy around the block. Dreams of victory, that's the stock. Shock your mock, the sound won't lock. Daring the fate, no need to balk. Draft day comes, it's time to flock. Gather round, birds are stunned, and Cassie, shock your mock.
Cool.
Hey, what's up, birds? Gather round.
That's wild.
I gotta rerun it. I gotta hear that name.
Yeah, just get the name again, please.
Neither name is right.
Can you run it again or not? Just to hear it. Yeah.
Here we go. Ready?
Cassie? It's got a beat, though. I'll give it that much.
Not bad.
In the heart of Austin, to start to knock. Cassie on the keys,
Cassie.
ready to rock.
Cassie Kurtz.
Under spotlight beams, the clock it mocks.
All right, Andy, we're good.
Jaguars on the draft. All
Shout
eyes
out to my parents, by the way,
Yeah.
who I'm sure at some point considered the fact that, one, they gave me a girl's name and I was a dude. And two, they spelled it away that like it was never going to work. So, yeah, this is fine. Like, this is no different than the Starbucks lady calling out Cassie. And it's like, all right.
If it makes you feel any better, my name hasn't been right either the whole time.
Yeah.
Casey, so. But was the whole goal to try to be unique? Because, I mean, that's where the EN comes from for me.
You would think, right?
It's me and Jane Austen. That's about it.
So, like, you would think that was the move? Nah, apparently, my parents were at a Valparaiso, Indiana basketball game.
Heavy hitters.
And bro's name
Hitters.
Bro's name was Casey something, and my mom was like, "Oh, Casey."
What?
Real life.
Wait,
life.
what was he a Valparaiso player or was he an Indiana player?
Valpo.
Okay. Did he end up?
No.
Do we know what?
We don't know what happened to him.
Some kids get named after, like, you know, Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Some kids get named after Game of Thrones characters.
Yep.
I think Twilight was big for a while.
Sure.
You got named after a random from Valparaiso.
3 points a game from Valpo. All right. That's me.
The ninth man.
He was
me.
destined for greatness, everybody.
Bro hit 1-3 every other time.
Destined for greatness. All right. So, Hamby, let's go ahead and bring up the first mock. Let's get the one that starts with Jared Verse. If you got that, I'll go ahead and give the guy his props.
Here we go.
So
There it is.
today we are featuring mocks from. Let me get because I have to give credit where credit is due. You know how this works.
Clint,
Yes.
who is the next one that we'll be doing.
Okay. Well, yep. The first one is going to be Duval Manta.
Yep, Duval Manta.
Manta. I didn't get a screen name, but it starts with Poppy. So that's all you got to know about that. His username starts with Poppy.
Okay.
Take that for how you want. Guy could be a heavy hitter. We'll see. First pick, and Casey, feel free to chime in wherever you want here. I'll set you up, though, as well.
Okay.
Going to Florida State. Get your eyes adjusted a little bit, little blurry, but we're all good. Going
We
to
got to
Florida.
send bigger pictures in, folks.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't beg you guys enough. But anyways, first pick of the draft, pick number 17. Wide receiver must have been unavailable, and that's okay. Going arguably maybe the toast of the edge rusher class here. Jared Verse out of Florida State. Casey, your initial thoughts?
Fantastic. I get it. Wide receiver. I said earlier I wanted to pick corner, but I also whispered, if you didn't hear, I whispered, unless Jared Verse is there. So if Jared Verse is there, you take him. So I've got no beef at all. Even not being wide receiver, not even knowing the scenario if they've traded for Justin Jefferson here, Jared Verse, I think he's a stud.
No beef, 6'4", 254. That's a lot of beef coming at you. 33 and 1.5 inch arms. I'll say this all till the cows come home. Just give me the wingspan. I just needed wing, and I don't know if that's long arms or not. Give me the wingspan. Ran a 4.58 40, 35-inch vertical, 10.7 on the broad jump. And this, I mean, I don't say this a lot on this show in terms of shock your mock, but 31 reps on the bench.
Ish.
Okay? Now, they say bench press doesn't matter. Guess what? When you're an edge rusher and you bench it 31 times, it damn sure does matter, and it matters in all the best ways possible. Fun fact about Jared Verse, started out as a tight end at the Power 5 school of Albany. Just kidding. Not even a Power 50 school. Didn't know Albany even had a football team.
I didn't either.
Added 40 pounds of muscle playing tight end and was switched to defensive end because he added it during the pandemic.
Okay.
Did you know about that?
I did not.
And listen, I think we all added some stuff during the pandemic.
That's true.
40 pounds of muscle. Not a lot of people can say that. So
Not
not anybody, I don't think, Casey. So impressive there. Shows work ethic. NFL comparison, Lamar Woodley.
Okay.
Big staple. I mean, big staple in Pittsburgh. Now, if this guy's playing against Greg Jones, then watch out. Because I watched Greg Jones choke slam Lamar Woodley and put him down like an infant. But if Greg Jones, who I think is still retired, is off the field, then you got to like Jared Verse's chances. I'm just saying, stay away from Greg Jones, Jared Verse. People say here some of the things that the scouts are saying real quick. This is my favorite part.
Yep.
Bolsters a hellish speed to power bull rushing ability to run tackles deep into the pocket. Bolsters a hellish speed to power bull rushing ability to run tackles deep into the pocket. Zach Levis better get some holy water, because if this guy's coming off the edge of the Jacksonville Jaguars, it could be problems. I mean, imagine Zach Levis, taking
Zach Levis?
Will
Levis. I was thinking Zach Wilson. My bad. Will Levis is going to need a holy water bath when you have Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, now the Hellraiser that is Jared Verse coming to you. Sorry, I typed in Will Levis. It switched to Zach Wilson right away because, comparable. Hopefully.
There you go.
We'll see. And another scout says advanced GPS into the up pocket with multiple available rush routes.
Huh?
They really just be writing stuff.
They always just be writing stuff, Case. You know how this isn't your first rodeo. Next, we're going Max Milton, going out of Rutgers, pick number 48. It's a corner.
All right.
5'11", 187, ran a 4.39, just missed out on that 4.4. Props to him, because now he's telling his friends, I ran a 4.3, right? Because they don't say the last number. 40.5-inch vertical, 11.4 on the broad jump. Casey, hit me with the initial thoughts.
I want them to get a corner at some point. Again, not knowing about wide receiver. Interesting. Dude had a lot of interceptions at Rutgers. I don't really know what that means fully because Rutgers. But dude got after the football a little bit, scored a touchdown even. So little small. Little small. Here's my issue with it. Doesn't do a good job of press coverage. I think that's going to be one of the calling cards of this defense going forward. He's at his best when he's playing zone. A little things that scouts are saying about him. Oh, no.
When playing with his eyes forward from zone and searching for clues to jump in and make plays on the football, Max Melton's unstoppable. When playing with his eyes forward from zone and searching for clues to jump in and make plays on the football, Max Melton's unstoppable. Jankies, did we just get a new Scooby-Doo member?
Jankies is crazy.
Is he trying to solve who's the ghost of the abandoned theme park? Because that was always a Scooby-Doo episode. Yeah. Everything was abandoned. Everything was a theme park. Yeah, people are saying he's going to be a quarterback 3, quarterback 4, or a cornerback 3, cornerback 4. At pick number 48,
not at 4.
Hard. It's hard to come along with that one. Pick number 96. We're going to Blake Fisher here. Sorry, a little hard to read. Blake Fisher, Notre Dame, 6'6", 34 3/8-inch arms, 310 pounds, 5.240, 28 on the vertical. Casey, offensive tackle here at pick 96. Your thoughts?
Notre Dame education.
Notre Dame education.
That's got to count for something.
And also Notre Dame linemen do pretty well, I feel like.
Yep. 6'6", solid, 310, a little bigger. From Indiana, shout out to him. But now this is 2 picks in a row that might not be on the field.
Yeah.
This is starting to feel like last year's draft a little bit.
A little bit. You get your edge rusher, wide receiver, not being addressed yet. We'll get to that in a second. But let's call this guy what he is here. He's athletic, has tools to be good, if not great, but needs to work on 2 things.
Oh boy.
Consistency, and a scout said that he is super slow out of his stance.
It's never good when they call you slow.
Yeah.
But super slow is even worse.
Here's more of a caveat to that. A scout said that he is usually the last one out of his stance, putting him behind in his chores.
Never mind.
Oh my gosh.
Last one out of his stance, putting him behind in his chores. Hey there, the cows are in the pasture. The chickens need to be egged. And Trevor Lawrence is on his back wondering, how come you haven't addressed the wide receiver position yet?
How come you haven't done your chores?
Chores, man. NFL scouts never. Oh, whatever, man. On to the next one. Let's just go.
Yeah,
pick 114, Luke McCaffrey. Now, that last name should mean something to some people. Luke McCaffrey out of Rice University, wide receiver. Much like Noah Cyrus, people may forget this guy exists. What? Guys not Noah Cyrus fans? She had some bangers.
She did.
She had some hits.
Did she?
No, she's not Miley, but she had some hits. And
Miley.
And so we're talking 4.46 on the 40, 36-inch yard vertical, 6'2", 198. Casey, your initial thoughts?
Anytime you can get a guy that's been in college for 5 years, you got to take an opportunity to do that.
You got to do it.
Especially from Rice. He's been in school for 5 years and is somehow still a junior. So I'm not sure how that works fully, but 13 touchdowns, whether you play for Valpo or Rice.
So when I saw this name, 'cause I remember watching a game of him where they talked, because obviously he has the bloodlines.
Right.
And I was excited when I saw his name, and then I saw the scouts' take on it, and I immediately lost all my excitement. Here's what the scouts say about Luke McCaffrey. Lacks the size of his father and lacks the speed of his brother, but has soft hands.
Good.
Has soft hands. Now, man, lacks the size of his father, lacks the speed of his brother, but he has hands.
That's so goofy. Just leave that
Isn't
out.
that why? Is there some kind of vendetta against the McCaffreys? You had to say that?
That's just.
Can I drop one strength in?
Please.
Focus drops do not exist in his dojo.
Well, that was gonna be my next part. Hamby, you got there just a little quickly, but yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good, man.
Focused drops?
So another scout said focus drops do not exist in the dojo.
What if he's not focused?
What if he's not in a dojo?
That's a better point.
On a football field, huh? Just call it a field. What are we doing with the dojo, scouts? People also said that he's fearless into the teeth of the defense and he excels at combat catches. Needless to say, I guess so, man. It's like Rambo. You get a combination of Rambo, who's not quite as fast as his brother and not quite as big as his dad, but you're getting Rambo with milky soft hands. So take that for how you want.
Sounds
I like my Rambos with calluses that have been through a lot, but
true.
if you want your Rambos with milky soft hands, Luke McCaffrey is your guy. Pick number 116. We're going cornerback, Florida State. Is there a Florida State bias here a little bit? Possibly. Jarian Jones.
Good football player.
6 feet, 190, ran a 4.38, 39-inch vertical. Casey, your thoughts?
Sure.
Yeah. So
not going to be that 116.
Probably won't be there at 116, but also a lot like Max Melton. This guy benefits more from zone coverage. He has a motor on him, but he tends to lose his guy in man coverage. One would think going forward he's going to play nickel, so the zone can help him out a little more. Comes ready to work to do his part against the run. Struggles against vertical separation.
Another 5-year guy, by the way.
Another 5-year guy from Jarian Jones. Well, it's the whole COVID year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime you get most people are looking for guys that played 3 years.
Yep.
But 5, we'll take it.
Casey, we have a fan favorite already on the show, Zach Zinter.
Fantastic.
6'6", 309 pounds, 33 and 1/2 inch hands. I guess the games and one are lost in the trenches. This is our second offensive lineman taken here. This guy will be more of a guard, but 6'6", it's a pretty big guard. Your thoughts, Casey?
Anytime you can get a guy whose initials are ZZ, you're going to want to take an opportunity to do that.
Yep.
153, definitely not too high to pick this guy. And, you've needed a lot of help interior of your offensive line.
As before, we've mentioned, one scout said that he has adequate length with some thick hips. I can't repeat this enough. Do not say that to any coworkers in the workplace. You will be fired.
You will?
Guy is experienced, coming off a broken tibia and fibula. You know how Trent Baalke likes those injured guys?
Oh, that's perfect.
It's a broken. It's not a ligament or anything. Bones heal quicker than ligaments. That's a fact. I learned that on Bill, not the science guy. But Zach Zinter, we mentioned it before, sounds like a Disney character in a Disney movie, like a Disney feature for special.
I'll give you that.
Zach Zinter is the star of a high school lacrosse team, but when an accident happens and he turns into a dog at his parents' dog grooming store, Zach is about to find out that being a dog is kind of rough. Zach Zinter's rough day coming to the spa on Disney. Yeah, there you go. Last but not least, you got Jawar Jordan, running back out of Louisville.
Why?
I mean, just fill in the void. And then we have Brevin Spam Ford out of Minnesota. A little about this guy. Kind of a jack of all trades. Wasn't really featured much in the Minnesota offense. Could come in and compete. But once again, you're talking about a guy that's special teams primarily.
No more running backs.
This was the perfect draft, or exactly what I said, if we were to go get Ayuk or Higgins. It was edge, corner, tackle.
Yeah.
So if he would have put a caveat on the top with trade for Higgins included, then this is like a A-. But without addressing receiver in the first 3.
I mean, and once again, I think Max Melton, and I didn't mention this, but Scout said that he's adequate as a cornerback right now. And adequate's a word that I'm still waiting for Brent to use with Hamby. At the end of that, I'm just kidding, man. I don't know how I feel about an adequate player at pick 48. We have one more mock draft to break down before we head out of here for the day. This is coming from Hamby. Do we know who this is coming from?
This is
Clint.
So real quick, shout out to Glenn, who's actually Clint. It's very confusing. He's
okay,
Clint.
Please.
Glenn, I'm not explaining the whole story, but anyway, Glenn has been at day one. He's in the YouTube chat all the time.
Okay.
When you and Brent started.
Nice. Okay.
Then when,
yeah.
And then when me and Brent, and then and then now is back. Never thought he was really a fan of my work, but definitely Brent's and definitely yours. So shout out to Glenn in the YouTube.
Shout out to Glenn in the YouTube. You think a guy who listened to the show would have had a little bit of a mock draft, but here we go. No, just kidding. Let's break this down, though.
This does look foul. I'm not going to lie.
Pick number 17 off the gates. It's a new name, Casey. We do like new names on this thing. Makes it a little more fun. We're going Kool-Aid McKinstry. 5'11", 199. NFL comparison is A.J. Terrell. And obviously out of the University of Alabama. Your first thoughts?
I'm in. Again, I'm feeling a little differently about corner than everybody. Obviously, there's a wide receiver situation here, but I think Kool-Aid McKinstry, one, his name is Kool-Aid, so you got to count that for something.
I do like that.
It has to count for something at the bare minimum. I think he's good. I think he's a quality player. I think he can help you immediately. I know how I could see that working, but I understand they've signed players in those positions. But I like the player. I'm not mad at it, but obviously there's wide receiver that needs to be.
Quirky name, but he has a consistent game, they're saying. Is patient, well-groomed, can match up against anybody. He's confident, and he can handle business on his own island. He has well-timed punches, claws, and chops, knock down any catch attempts. And one scout in the NFC said this guy is an absolute natural. Still waiting for Brent to say that about Hamby. Next pick. Well, I'm just, hey, man, got to keep things fun up here. Got to keep things rolling. You know what I'm saying? Pick number 48. Ricky Pearsall.
Okay.
Ricky Pearsall, whatever you're talking there. So 6'1", 189, 4.14. Listen, you know the stats. Let's get into it, Casey.
So I wore this today on accident. It's a
Go Gator.
Yeah, it's a Gators pullover. I paid way too much for it. Even with the Gators pullover, I would not draft dude if I had to.
Yeah. No. Not at this point. No. Here's the issue I have with this one. He's a slot guy.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't help you immediately.
He's a slot guy, and I guess you can move Christian Kirk on the outside, but once again,
that doesn't help you win.
Christian Kirk is better in the slot.
Yes.
So keep him there. Yeah, I mean, this guy could be a great player, don't get me wrong. I just don't think he's going to fit in with this Jaguars team.
Nah, I'm not in on him. I wasn't in on him at Florida, to be real with you. I think at the end, there was concerns about if he was actually trying to be real with you. So, I don't think it works in Jacksonville, and if they pick him 48, I'm going to slam my head on the table.
Well, apparently this mock draft just means a lot more because we're going back to back SEC guys here. Now we're going to the SEC guy where, I'll be honest, I don't really see it. Jalen Wright, running back, pick number 96. NFL comparison is Melvin Gordon, 5'10", 210, 4.38. Big play potential as a pass catcher and is going to be a day 2 target for a lot of teams. Your thoughts, Casey?
How many running backs can you play at a time?
Are we trying to do the triple option?
I don't know because how many teams back-to-back years have taken third-round running backs?
Is Doug going to put the glasses down and say, screw it, I'm tired of this, we're doing the triple option? Sorry, Trevor, we love you. It's triple option time?
Yeah, this just ain't it.
No, I mean, you took Tank Bigsby for a reason. I don't care if he hasn't produced yet. You have to see it through for at least another year. I like Jalen Wright a lot. I like the Melvin Gordon comparison. Yeah, I'll take a Melvin Gordon in the backfield as a little change of pace to Travis Etienne. You just have other needs right now. It's a luxury. You can't afford it. Move on. Next pick. Oh, another SEC guy because it just means that much more. Yeesh. We are going McKee Wingo. No relation to Barcavius Mingo. 6 feet.
Georgia.
He couldn't resist. He couldn't resist. 6 feet. The end.
Really?
6 feet. Huh. And there ain't no more. 284, 485, 31.5-inch vert, 9'1" on the broad. Fun fact, he was named the AFFAA All-State Good Works Team for his community service work. Team captain as well. Comparison is actually Sheldon Rankins. Your thoughts?
I know that when you download the draft class in Madden for this year's draft class, if you're playing the old Madden, you can get Wingo in like the 6th round and he develops into a monster. So whoever developed that draft class in Madden, well done, sir.
Yeah.
But in real life, no.
Well, listen, once again, this kind of comes in the whole Richard Gere effect a little bit. This could be a pretty woman situation where on paper, Trent Baalke doesn't like him. Way too short, arms not long enough, but guy plays with a lot of low pad level, plays with a lot of explosiveness. He could be a sleeper. Trent Baalke, maybe turn him into your little Julia Roberts there. Next pick real quick, Jonah Williams, the most Utah name ever. Jonah Williams. Sorry, Jonah Ellis. My bad. Jonah Ellis. Sorry. Jonah Ellis. One more time. Pick 116, edge out of Utah. Casey, any thoughts?
Yeah, I like him because he's a 3-year college guy. So this is somebody that people are interested in, and he didn't have to stay for 5 years. 12 sacks. Sure, why not? From Idaho. I feel like you need an Idaho guy on your roster.
So he's actually from Moscow. Moscow, Idaho. Idaho's bored, huh? Scouts say that he needs sand in his pants.
Not the
plenty
sand
of,
in the pants.
Plenty of sand at Jack's Beach.
What's he going to fill his pants?
Well, yeah, fill your pants, get a little bigger. He's been blessed with a high-octane motor and a tank full of gas, scouts are saying.
Cool.
Say what, sand in your
doesn't
pants,
need to hit the Circle
tank
K.
full of gas. Yep. And hey, pick 153. He's a fan favorite on this show.
Gonna get him
Casey.
in every mock.
Zach Zinter, once again. Comparison is Graham Glasgow. Not Glasgow, who the Lions, I guess, also have. One scout says, once again, adequate length with some thick hips. They love those thick hips there. Got some junk in the trunk, I guess. I didn't say that. The scouts may have did. Listen, we broke this guy down a lot. Hard-nosed, experienced, coming off an injury, broken tibia and fibula, but came back. I think at this position, I'm not upset with this. You need interior help. He can provide that. Oh, yeah, and by the way, Zach Zinter, like I've said before, sounds like a character from a Disney show. Zach Zinter is a stud high school baseball player, but the season gets put in jeopardy when a family curse makes it winter during the spring. Will Zach break the curse in time to start his baseball season? It's Zach Zinter in The Long Winter, coming to Disney this summer. Alana Smith.
Hope he gets it done.
Depth. I hope he gets. I hope we get him.
That guy flies.
I'm having fun.
This is this year's. What was that guy's name last year? Dylan Parham.
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
Yep. Anaya Smith. He's got some speed for you.
Oh yeah, he flies, dude. I mean, catch radius is there. I don't know about route running. I was
gonna say let's work on that route running a little bit, and then Frank Krum to end things off.
I'll take
offensive tackle Krum. Sorry,
Krum, I don't know.
Krum. Krum looks like Krum. It's definitely a Wyoming name. Offensive tackle 236. We're getting ready to come up behind it here, Casey. So we got to pick a winner. I appreciate how this fan is a giant fan of the show from day one. It seems like you were talking his praises.
Is this Glenn C?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's always in there.
Yeah. Glenn C., I love you, man, but it's hard for me to come with you when you took a slot receiver in the 40th pick. You didn't really address the edge until pick 116. I got to go with the first one.
I agree.
This one here?
You agree? Yeah, go ahead and give me Jerry. I mean, once again, I hope the wide receiver gets taken a little before Luke McCaffrey, but if not, I'll still roll with this one, man. So go ahead and give me, I can't remember this guy's name, but the first mock draft.
Duval Manta.
Duval Manta, congratulations. You're going on. Glenn C., we'll see you back in the chat. And maybe if we need some more, we can add another one from you, man. Try again.